Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Salem. And tonight, beautiful Salem is covered with a light blanket of snow, which you can see through our door here. And all I can say is that it is the declining moments of March 31st, about to become April 1st, and we have snow. I'm certainly looking forward to summer. Anyway, tonight's question for the vlog comes to us from Auburnan Drenenwen, who asks whether I believe that everyone is reincarnated or whether some souls remain on the other side as spirits. And there are several different levels to this question. I'm going to start with the simplest one, and the simplest one is I do believe there comes a point when we are not reincarnated further, at least as humans. I believe that we are in a constant spiral upwards, and there comes a point when we've learned all the lessons that there are to learn in our lives as humans. And I don't necessarily believe that that means that we cease to incarnate, but we cease to incarnate in the sense that we currently understand. I do believe that there is a point where spirits cease to incarnate altogether, or at least I think that's distinctly possible, and is within the scope of what I was taught. Now, the other part of the question, as it's originally asked, the question was, do I believe that everyone has to reincarnate, or whether some stay in spirit? Well, I don't believe that anyone has to reincarnate. I believe that we reincarnate by choice, and that we are led to it by our attachments that we carry forward. There is a wonderful old film called The Adding Machine, starring Milo O'Shea and Phyllis Diller, made I think in 1968 or 69. And this film is all about the afterlife and incarnation. And it is, in my opinion, one of the best films ever made on the subject. I highly recommend it. And it is, of course, being almost as old as I am, rather hard to get a hold of, I believe, but it's well worth the effort. And the story of The Adding Machine is about a man who ends up murdering his wife and being executed and going into the afterworld. And in prison he has met a born-again Christian who is certain that they'll both burn in hell for all eternity. And so they're both rather surprised when after their executions they wake up in paradise. And paradise, as interpreted in this film, is a giant amusement park where everything you could possibly want is there, simply for the asking and the taking. And both the main character and his born-again friend are rather stupefied by this because it's totally different from anything they had expected in the afterlife. Meanwhile, the girlfriend of the main character, who has committed suicide, is also there in paradise and is delighted to be there and understands everything perfectly, and she hears music constantly, as many people do. And the main character and his born-again friend cannot hear the music and don't understand that either. And when they ask questions about the place that they are in, they are told that only the most blessed remain. Anyone may remain, but only the most blessed do. And the story continues throughout their afterlife and eventually takes the title character through to his next incarnation. But the idea is that we are never in a position where we must reincarnate, but rather we're drawn back into it by our own unresolved issues. And if we resolve all those issues, then we don't need to come back. Whether or not we come to a point that we do resolve all those issues is, of course, a matter of a great deal of spiritual work. And there are certainly those who believe that this is possible and has been done. Buddhism is entirely centered on this idea. And I believe that to be quite true. And I think that if one is at a point that one does not wish to incarnate, then Buddhism is probably a good way to go. Now, within Wicca, we believe that incarnation is a good thing, and that there's a good reason for us to be here, and that this world is a wonderful place that we should be interacting with, which is a very different point of view from wanting to get out of the cycle of birth and death. But I do believe that there is a time when we leave it, and that time is when we've done all that we can do here, all that we need to do here, learned all that we need to learn, resolved all that we need to resolve, and I believe that until we do that, we come back. Not because we're made to come back, not because we have to come back, but because we're drawn back by our own attachments. So I hope that this answers your question, and until next time, may you blessed be. And check out my new subscription site, thedailyspell.com. For 12 years now, we've been sending out the Daily Spell easy and free of charge to literally thousands of people, and will continue to do so. TheDailySpell.com is a subscription site meant to augment that daily service with deeper stories, deeper news, videos, entertainment, information, many daily features such as Marianne's Mystic Gem of the Day, the Daily Tarot Card, the Daily Bio, and many more things. So check it out. Subscriptions are $19.99, and until next time, may you blessed be.